Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Irish Dominado of the Asian Farmers Association, and on behalf of my colleagues and our partners who are present here right now, we welcome all of you to our online event today, the video production training for farmers organizations, and cooperatives. This training on video production aims to empower farmers organizations, and cooperative members with the knowledge and skills needed to make impactful videos that advocate for climate resilience. And we want to help you create quality videos for your entries to our ongoing contest, the Advancing Climate Resiliency through Farmers Organizations and Cooperatives. And for this event, we invited a trainer who will give a discussion on the different aspects of video production. And there will also be a question and answer session. So if you have questions, you will be given a chance to ask them later. But before we start, can we take a photo? So maybe ask all of you to open your camera so we can take a group photo.
Irish, your sound is not clear, no?
How about now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, right now it's good so far. Now from the beginning it was echo, but we can understand well.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Can we take a photo first before we officially start?
Okay.
May we request everyone to please open their camera. And may I ask my colleague Jan to please take a screenshot of the group photo of the group.
Yes, sure. Hi everyone, kindly open your camera and please stay smiling for at least 10 seconds maybe because we have 3 pages. So I'll start capturing now. 1, 2, 3. Great. Page 2. Smile again. 1, 2, 3. Last page. Smile everyone. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Morning,
okay.
everyone.
Thank you. And yeah, may I call on my colleagues Amir and Miss Bernie to please help me acknowledge who are present with us today. Amir?
Thank you, Irish. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So from from India, I think from Nikod and Imse, Aida and Rima is there. From Bangladesh, Jahid and Sumia is here. Sri Lanka from Gihan is here. Nepal, Prakash is here. Mongolia, Biamba is here. Kyrgyzstan, Toulouse and Modena is here. Pakistan, Idris, Sultan and Wasimbai is here. China, there is a national holiday. So that's why China people are not joining with us. Thank you. Back to you, Irish.
Thank you, Amir. Miss Bernie, can you help us acknowledge who are present from Southeast Asia?
Good afternoon, everyone. We have participants from Indonesia. We have from Jampani and API, of course. We also have participants from, of course, the Philippines. So Lani of WAMPI is also here with us from Indonesia. We have participants from Cambodia. Miley is here from FNN and ICE also. Ungvuti. We also have participants from the Philippines, of course. We have here Mel and some of the Pakisama members. And then from VNFU, we have quite a number of participants from VNFU. And yes, that's all we have. We're still waiting for the Lao contingent to participate, to come in. I'm going to follow up their participation.
We have from Myanmar, Tita.
Southeast Asia. Oh yeah, okay, yes, thank you so much. So Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Bernie. And we also have partners from the Pacific. We have here FOs and Secretariat of PFON. And
Yes,
we're
Angela
also
Bird. Hello.
and we're also joined by Mr. Paulo from the Comdev Asia, FAO Comdev Asia team. And thank you everyone for joining us for this training event. And to officially begin, let us welcome Mr. Mark Andre Zak of the German Cooperative and Raiffeisen Confederation, or DGRV, to give his opening message. Mr. Zak is the project director and authorized representative of DGRV for Myanmar and the Philippines. And DGRV is one of AFA's partners. We have worked together in implementing projects, particularly on capacitating our partner cooperatives. And now we are collaborating for this activity to bring farmers' messages to COP28. Let us welcome Mr. Mark Andre Zak.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So I'm very happy, very pleased to be here, and I'm really happy to see the high number of participants, more than 60 people. Wow! I'm happy that you are all participating in the video contest, and I'm already now really curious how our final video will look. Thank you, Irish, for making the introduction. You practically summarized half of my message already. So yes, I'm Mark. I'm from DGRV. Let me just make a few words why we are collaborating on this project. As DGRV, our mission is to promote cooperatives, farmer cooperatives, and farmer groups which work together collaboratively. And AFA is our partner, which works with several of these groups in different countries in Asia. When AFA told us about their participation at the COP28 conference in December, I was really excited, and we had the idea that we turn this video competition where you will showcase your solutions to climate change adaptation and climate change mitigation, and that we will create this or we'll put this together into a professional video to showcase that to a broader audience. So we hired The Insider. Gladys will conduct the training today with you, and they will receive all of your video contributions and create an overall video that we can show to the general public, and also show to the world what contribution you, specifically you and your farmers group, your farmers cooperative, are making to create a world which is more sustainable, to create a food system which is more sustainable. I'm really excited about this. I will not share much more because most of the time should be dedicated to the training itself. I might have to leave this meeting earlier, but I wish everyone a successful training. Gladys, thank you for taking that time. Thank you for providing insights into your experiences and into your skills. And as I mentioned, I'm really excited to be part of this project, and I'm really excited to I'm already really excited to see the final product later. So have a good day, and yeah, all the best for the trainings. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Your insightful and inspiring words set the perfect tone for what promises to be a transformative and impactful gathering this afternoon or today. And we'd like to thank DGRV again for collaborating with us for this training event. Thank you always for your support. So let me just introduce briefly our speakers or our trainers. So we have two. First is Miss Gladys Yanes. She is a filmmaker and media producer based in the Philippines. She has produced documentary films, short videos, and animated videos focusing on social impact. She is also an expert in media training, and she is the co-founder of The Insider Productions. And our other trainer is Mr. TJ Biasong. He is a producer, cinematographer, and editor also based in the Philippines. And his film, Marisa, was awarded as the best film at the Documentary Film Festival in Marikina City, Philippines. And he has also worked with multi-awarded films that went to festivals, including Busan Film Festival. So Gladys and TJ are from the Insider Productions. So it is a firm that develops, produces, and distributes media materials on media campaigns, strategies, and also personal business stories. And their company's goal is to create stories of impact. So for this training and for the video contest in general, Gladys and TJ of The Insider will help us not only in training you to create better videos for your entries, but they will also help us produce the video summarizing all of your entries later on, as mentioned also by Mark in his message. And just a reminder to please remain muted while the trainers are speaking, unless they ask the participants, they ask you to respond live. And we have allocated a question and answer portion for the session. So if you have questions, please write them down, or you can type them in the chat box, and the trainer will respond to them during the Q&A session. Thank you, everyone, and I now give the floor to Gladys and TJ.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and maybe good evening to our participants. So I was really nervous when I found out that I'll be talking to a lot of organizations around the Asia Pacific, but this has been something that I do as well. But before I go on, maybe can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Be like a thumbs up from your chats. All right. I see Irish, Cassandra, cool, Sarah. Thank you so much. So to introduce myself, I'm Gladys from The Insider Productions, and our company is The Insider. For today, we have a lot of things to talk about in terms of video production, but overall, me and TJ, who is my colleague here, you can see us as a mentor, really, and not more of like a trainer. We will train you some basic from basic things that we need to do in video production, up to some tips on, also pro tips on how you can do it. But overall, we want you to feel welcome. If you have some questions, and feel free to view us as your mentor for the day. So let me share my screen for our presentation for today. All right. So for today's topic that we will be talking, we will be sharing with you some practical guides on video production. So whether you are a beginner, or you are in the middle, or you're a pro, it's always good to have a refresher, on how to do video productions well. So let's start by this question first. Do you think that videos are effective form of communication? Maybe you can have a thumbs up if yes, hearts if like super yes. There's no answer in this, by the way. Yeah, a lot of thumbs ups, a lot of hearts. So definitely, I agree with you. But maybe some of you are not convinced. I did not see some of you having their thumbs up or hearts. So let's see if your theories are correct. So there's a study now that there's a recent study that says what are the most preferred preferred communication tool that people wants to view, to know more about a certain product, certain service, a certain information. So if you can see here, like it's a big yellow that says short videos. So this is one of the reasons why for sure we are here today, because we know how powerful videos are, especially if we are talking about knowledge, or we're sharing about some knowledge that we have in our own communities, right? And so I believe that after this this training, hopefully all of us will try to create short videos already for our organizations and for the things that we do in our organizations. So just like a really quick thing, let's just do a simple test first, right? So is it really effective? Videos are really effective. So I want to share with you something of a story that I encountered during the pandemic, right? So I was in Zoom, as many of you have been during the pandemic, and I encountered this organization in Nepal called Spiral Farmhouse. So they are a youth-led organization based in, I guess, somewhere in the northern part of Nepal, and they were helping solve the problems of climate change problems that are happening in the Taru community, indigenous community in Nepal. So what they did was that they were training farmers to do organic farming to boost their agricultural business, and also to boost to solve the problem of the climate change that they are facing. So after having a lot of solutions that they did, they have trainings, they have capacity building workshops, and also they also have like model farms that they did. Eventually, and this is during the pandemic, eventually they succeeded, and the farmers are have like big percentages of their income increased, and also organic farming was very boosting in their community. So I was really happy when I was like hearing this story, from this organization, and I said I want to share that story to a lot of people. If I just say it one by one, then maybe just a little people will know, and of course they will like think, okay, that's a great story, that's a great initiative, I want to know more. So how about I give you a sample, because we really made a video with them. Thank you for this is presented with UNDP and City Foundation. So here is the Spiral Farmhouse in Nepal.
The fertile Tarai plains of southern Nepal.
Oh no, sorry, I think it stopped. Maybe I'll share again.
The fertile Tarai plains of southern Nepal are home to the Tharu indigenous peoples. It is called the Grain House of Nepal. Sadly, our farmers are poor and their families don't have enough to eat. Heavy use of chemicals is disrupting traditional farming, harming people's health and the environment. Hi, I'm Subodh Chaudhary, a proud Tharu farmer and program officer at Spiral Farmhouse. We practice and promote biodynamic organic farming to revive traditional agriculture and replenish damaged soil. We also train farmers to adopt sustainable organic farming to increase their income. When we started, many people doubted us But we did not give up. What started in 2019 with 8 farmers has now become a community movement. With training and support from us, so far 70 farmers have switched to organic farming. Since 2020, support by Youth Collab, co-led by UNDP and City Foundation, gave us exposure and connections that helped us acquire $40,000 in grants. Since then, we have learned skills and strategies to expand our business. Our revenues have grown 100% in just the last year. Farmers are making more money due to the high demand for organic crops, vegetables, and fruits by health-conscious customers. This will motivate even more farmers to adopt organic farming. Join us in our mission of improving the livelihood of indigenous farmers. Grow or consume organic for a healthy life and a healthy planet.
Right. Okay, let me okay. So, based on the story that I've shared, so the first one is I was just telling you what I have met, right? About the Spiral Farmhouse. And now after I was telling is the video, which do you think retained you, or like you will think about Spiral Farmhouse more now? Is it when I was telling the story, or is it when I was showing you the video? Maybe you could chat. If you said the video, then thumbs up. If you said the story, then like the celebration one, the celebration emoji. Yeah, a lot of you are saying thumbs up, thumbs up. Obviously, right? So obviously it is the video. Especially if you if we don't know really like where the organization is from, who are these people, what have they benefited so far. It's just really good to see that there are real people and real stories that have been impacted with all the things that the for example the Spiral Farmhouse have done, right? So in journalistic sense, we call this the head to heart shift. So what's head to heart shift? It means that from information that we have gathered, you know, videos gave us this visual effect, and this visual representation is sort of an immersion for us, that instead of knowing, now we are like we know them by heart, and we want to act more because we have seen them, we have seen the people that really are doing this. So this is why for me, I really love to create videos, and hopefully for you as well, for the organizations, you would also be inspired to create more videos for your organizations, and also for your organizations solutions that you are doing, because I know that you have a lot of solutions that you've been doing, a lot of impact that you are doing already in your communities. So there are a lot of stories there, and hopefully with this contest even we can highlight all of those stories, and today we will help you do that. So yeah, let's get started with our training, right? So I think the first thing that we have to know is that we need to be prepared. So what are the preparations that we need to do? Number one is the team. So, and number two, equipment and the idea. So why do we need to think about the team? This is because when we think about creating a video, then it's easier for us to assign the tasks that are part, or that are involved in the process of filmmaking or video making. So in a production, you just need to have at least, you know, at least this people or these roles. So we have the producer, the director, cinematographer, audio person, and editor. So you might say, oh no, like we don't have a lot of people with that. Actually, for low budget filmmaking, most likely it would be a slasher. So for example, it's only one person that will be producer, director, cinematographer, audio person, and editor. That could be possible, but it also is it's good to have different people assigned to this. From my side, from our side, there are only 2 people doing production, mostly. Sometimes we also get other people to join us, but it's me and TJ who always do this type of production. So let's see what the team is all about. So for example, for the producer, so the video producer's role is to really to manage, from pre-production, production, and post-production process of the video or the film. So this means that they are responsible for the planning, the scheduling, and the editing of production down to the delivery of the video. So it's more like a project manager, really, for the producer. So this is his or her role. For the director, this person really is the one who translates the approved script, or the story into a video form. So he or she works closely with production team to capture the intended vision of the video, and then directing or guiding the crew to achieve the desired creative end output. So most likely this person could be more like of a visionary in terms of visuals, and also how to do those certain story that you identified. Next is the cinematographer. So also known as director of photography, actually. So this is he or she is in charge with the camera and the lighting crew, or the lighting itself. They are, or he or she are the person responsible for creating the look, the color, the lighting, and the framing of every single shot in a video production. So basically he's the one who has the camera, actually. And then the sound person, he or she is the one responsible for the the recording of the sound, and also to identify the equipment in terms of sound. So sometimes people when we think about video production, we only think about camera, right? Like that's the first thing, or the camera person. Who is the camera person? But oftentimes we did not think more of the audio, but honestly, it is a very vital personnel, or it's a vital role in the production. And we will learn more of that why later on. And then the last one is the editor. Obviously, he or she is the one who will edit the video, and very much of telling really the story on the timeline itself. So if you have like stories that you wrote in the planning stage, then the editor is the one who will put it together in a video form, and also very responsible in terms of like the whole flow of the story. So those are the people that you need to consider: the producer, director, cinematographer, sound person, to the editor. Now, for the equipment, so these are some of the equipments that you might need, and later on we will expound this. So the first one is, camera or phone. So anything that has like a camera, that could be your video, for your video. And then as I said, audio is very important. So you might need a microphone, or if you don't have a microphone, like maybe a lapel mic, or if you don't have that, we can explore later on some other options as well. For example, the headphones. So headphones can also be one of the recording devices, audio recording devices for you. So later on, we will explore that. SD cards. So if you're using a camera, then obviously you need SD cards to store the videos. but if you're using a phone, then it already has a a storage. Then you just need to know how much is the storage of your phone. And yeah. And then the next one is tripod. Tripod makes the videos more stable, or makes your camera more stable, and it will really be nice to have like stable shots, not really shaky shots, especially if you're interviewing. Tripod is also very important. And then we also have laptop for editing your videos, and then we have also light. These are some optional things. Now, for the different types of videos, for nonprofit, these are the types that you might encounter and you might use or need. We have the video story. Most likely it's like a docu feature or documentary style. We also have explainer videos where we explain some processes, how-tos, what are the mostly it's more like the information that you want to share, technical information that you want to share to your audience. We have campaign videos. Most likely it's sort of an advertisement if you have some campaigns that you're running in your organization. I think one of the campaign videos I can see is the We Are Watching, the one that you did for, I guess that's for COP25, if I'm not mistaken. So that's one of our campaign video. Testimonial videos is also very important if you are talking about maybe benefits or solutions that you have done. So testimonials is also very good. And organizational videos, it's really more talking about your organization structure, what are the things your organizations have been doing so far, things like that. So these are some types of videos, and hopefully our videos will really fall on the story video. I'm looking forward to it, because we wanted to tell some solutions, and also wanted to tell some the things that you have been doing in your organization. So next, lastly, the idea. So I won't expand with this because this is like a headache. We have to think about more about this individually or in your organization. But before you start really, the planning and things like that, it's also better if you have already some ideas in mind, because then when you say, okay, let's brainstorm, what would be the video that we have, and then it takes time to think about an idea. So for example, if you gather your team to have the brainstorming for your videos, it's best if you already encourage your team to think about some ideas for the video, so that it will save you some time, and also it will save you some, possibly it will just save you some time to narrow down what really are the best ideas that you can do. So those are the simple things for preparation itself. And right now, I hope that we can give you like 2 minutes of your time. So let's assess. So this is very practical for us now. Let's prepare your production team, equipment, and idea. So I will share you this one. I'll copy it in the chats. So this is just internal, okay? You can do it. We will give you 2 minutes to do it. You don't need to share, but you can also share. So this is just a very short exercise we can do just to see if you already have this preparation in mind. So you can fill this out. So for example, name of your organization and then production team. So do you already have producer in mind, director in mind, cinematographer in mind, audio person in mind, or editor? Or is this like one person or two person? Just write it down already. And then, And then the equipment, this is very important. So do you have a camera? if you don't have, maybe if you have a camera, let's say you have a DSLR, then put like this DSLR there. If you don't have, if you're planning to use a phone, then just put phone. And then for audio, if you have like lapel mics or microphone, then you can put it there, like you have microphone. If not, maybe you have like a the headphones with you, or if not really, maybe a second phone, second phone would be also good to capture the audio. And then if you need SD cards, yeah, okay. Someone is raising their hand. Wait a minute. So yeah, just fill this out if you can. And then let's see, someone is raising their hand. Can you open your mic, Komel? Hello, Komel?
I think the host needs to unmute the person. I think the participants are not able to. Irish, are you able to unmute?
Yeah, so for the others, maybe you could already fill this out. And if you want to share, you can share in the chats. Okay, are you guys filling it up? Can I get a thumbs up if you're filling this out? Let's see. All right, I think, yeah, some people are thumbs up, but some are not doing the thumbs up. It's okay. Just copy, please just copy this one, because this would be really important for you guys, because otherwise it's really hard for you to think about moving forward. Okay, so I think that we in the interest of time, we will move forward, but please just copy this one. For sure you'll have the copy later on as well. So I want to introduce to you the 3 parts of the video production, which is the most important part of this training. So the first part is the pre-production stage, which is called the planning stage actually. And then the second one is the production stage, which is the filming and the shooting stage. And then the post-production, which is the editing stage. So let me talk about the pre-production stage. And this is the most, I would say this is the very important part of production, because then all of the things that you need to do are in this stage. You cannot go on to the next stage if you don't do this. So what is pre-production and why is it important? So pre-production is where all your planning and organizing takes place. So arguably, it is the most important phase of the film production, which will require great sum of effort. And pre-production allows you to organize everything you need before you start rolling your cameras. So personally, as a filmmaker, I really want to have pre-production ready with my team. So before we start filming, because otherwise we will just waste money, we will just waste resources if we don't do this pre-production. So, oh, sorry, someone says they cannot copy the film. Maybe later on we will share this one, don't worry. So as I say, pre-production is very important, and here are the things that we need to prepare and discuss during pre-production. So number 1 is the concept note. Number 2 is the script or the running script, production plan, shot list, and storyboard. I put optional in storyboard. So later on, we will know why I put optional in this part. So firstly, it's the concept note. So a concept note is actually a brief outline of the project that you have in mind. So this is where all the things that you want to do or all the concepts that you want to create are written. So let me just share another. Maybe you can already see this. Yeah, I think you can see this, right? Can I give a thumbs up if you can see the sample concept note that I have? Okay, great. So this one also you can download this later on, but I just created a sample here. So in the concept note, you will find the project title. Of course, you will write the title here. Running time. It's very important that you identify how long your video will be already, not just during editing. You know, it's already good to have this. Language, just an example. For example, we have a Hindi here and with English subtitles. So you also like identify the language already. If you want to speak in English or if you want to speak in your native language, you need to identify that as well. For target audience, so this is the most important part actually, that you identify the target audience. For example, here we put donors, funders, development professionals. So for me, there's I would really say sometimes we say we put in the target audience, right? Like general public. So for me as a professional, I don't really prescribe to have like a general public as a target audience, because that constitutes a very broad idea and very broad, and oftentimes if our objective is, you know, to give awareness of what we are doing, not all of the general public could relate to that. So it would be really best if we focus on our target audience instead of just making it general, so that our messaging will be focused and what we want to say really hits who we are communicating with. So the next is concept and treatment. So just an example I put here, this video will be in a form of documentary film feature, an immersive way in giving life to the process and impact done by organizations on climate adaptation solutions in India. So the video will have sit-down interviews, observational scenes, and if possible, archival footage. If it's necessary, text will also be inserted to provide more explanation. It will be edited in a docu-feature style, targeting the messaging to its target audience. So as you can see, in terms of concept and treatment, you really have to define what your video would be, so that whoever will read this, for example, your team, they will already identify, oh, okay, so this is the objective of what we want to do as a video. And then after you created the concept and the treatment, now you go to the narrative background. So narrative background really is how the story will be portrayed. So you have to write it down. Maybe some of you will say, oh no, that's a lot of work, like writing it down, the story, but the end is, you know, a video. So I would want to write the story. The simple explanation of that is videos, or let's say films, are actually a visual form of a story. And without the story, without the backbone, we cannot identify how we could portray that story in a visual way if we don't know really what we are talking about, right? So you need to write it down, how the story would be, and that's your narrative background. So here, this is a very long narrative background, actually. So I'm just gonna talk to you about the first paragraph. So, for example, in a small rural community in India, Jane, a farmer passionate about her land, was faced with the challenge of adapting the changing climate. However, her life took a remarkable turn when she became involved in the climate adaptation program initiated by a prominent organization. This is a story of Jane's journey, a testament to the transformative power of sustainable solutions and community engagement. So when we think about like, okay, so that's the story I want to portray in the video. So how do you think you could portray it? So here we wanted to see that Jane is a farmer. She's from a rural community in India, and she has problems in terms of adapting to climate change. So in the visuals, possibly we can see Jane in her community. So shots of her community, you know, shots of Jane in let's say in her farmland, and then Jane seeing some of the problems that she is seeing in terms of the changing climate. And maybe we can hear her, you know, talking about the problems that she is facing while we are seeing her in her farmland. So as if you can observe, we are just translating the story that we want to portray in a visual form. So this is the reason why we need to write down our story. And then obviously we also want to put toward our characters. Just an example here, we have Jane. Who is Jane? Of course, she's a farmer who went through the program with a success story. And then after the characters, we also put similar videos actually. So why do we want to put similar videos? This is to give us more like examples, and also to inspire us. What are the things that we need to shoot? What are the other questions that we need to answer during the video? What are the things that we need to delve more in terms of the story? So it's really good to have sample videos. So here you can see that I put the spiral farmhouse that you watched earlier here, so you can also see that. So this is just a very short concept note that I created. Usually this is what I send to clients because it's not very long. You can actually expound this, you know, if in terms of like where to shoot, like things like that, geographical locations. But in the interest of, you know, making it shorter and crispier, these are the bullet points that you can already, you know, copy in terms of creating your concept note. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. So that's the concept note. And when you the next one is the script or the running script. So what's the difference between these two? So a video script obviously is the blueprint or the foundation for your videos. So it is a chronological rundown of, you know, the scenes, action, dialogue that you want to appear in the video. And then if the script relies on interview, so if you want to have a video that has a voiceover from the interviews, maybe a running script would be better to do that. And I will show you what I'm talking about. So let's go back here. So below the concept note, I also put the running script template. So later on, you can also have this. Just an example with a spiral farmhouse video that you've seen earlier. So this is the sample script template. We have like the title, the running time, that was 2 minutes. Then of course the production crew, you can put your names or you can put the production company, things like that. And then I just put here the sample video so that you can take a look later on. So this is the structure of the script. So we have 2 columns here. First is the audio, and then the second is the video. So the audio part is where all the audio that you want to put is in there, including music, including voiceovers, including anything that other sound that you might want to put in. So put it in the audio audio timeline. And then the other one is the video. So if this audio, what compensates this audio in a video form? So for example, in the audio here, we hear music fades in, right? In the video, what we can see is establishing shots of Nepal fades in. So establishing shot of Nepal, and then there's a title as well. So all of the videos that you can see or you want to see in your final output would be put here. So for example, there's an voiceover. The person was saying, you know, the fertile Taray plains of southern Nepal are home to Tharo indigenous peoples, things like that. And then possibly in the video, you want to see some footages of the southern Nepal and also the Tharo indigenous people. So here you can already know what are the shots you need, and you know what are the videos that you need to film. Sadly, if you are creating like a documentary maybe documentary film or a documentary video, it is very hard to create the script already in this form. So what we can do is that we will have a running script. So running script means it is like a script that you fill out while you are like planning it. So for example, here you can put in the introduction, let's say you can already define like problem, talking about, maybe not the problem, introducing the organization, just an example. Now for the visuals, what do you want to put in the visuals? So maybe, oh sorry, for the audio, maybe you will put voice over talking about introducing the organization. Then in the video, maybe you'll have B-rolls. Later we will know what B-rolls are. So B-rolls of the organization. So here it's very it's very organized in a sense that what you want to capture are here already, and you can already see how your video is flowing. So for in terms of like the body, or you know, what are the things that you want to include in your video. So here you can list possible questions and points, and corresponding to those questions and points, what are the visuals that you want for people to see in those videos. So it will be up to you now. And then how do you end your video? You can also like extra. So that's the script, and also the running script. Moving forward, sorry, if you have some questions, just list it down later. We'll have a Q&A. And then third is the production plan. So obviously it's a schedule of your production. You need to create this scheduling production, the production plan. It's because it will be easier for you to plan out when are you going to shoot, where are you going to shoot, or when are you editing, what will be your editing, who will be your editor, things like that. So here, this is a sample production plan that I do. From pre-production, of course, we present the concept, script, create the production, pre-production, then we have the description, and then dates. And then, for example, during shooting, I put here the task shooting or filming. And then we put here approximately how many days of shooting would that be. I could also expound this in terms of where. For example, we'll have a shoot in the office, the organization's office, and this date we'll also have a shooting in the farm, So you can expound where and all the details of your production in here. And then obviously in post-production, you can also put like editing, when will be the editing, when will be the draft, things like that. So this is very handy for you to do, so that you will know the schedule of your videos. So that's the production plan. Lastly, this is not the last actually, but also you can do the shot list. So what is the shot list? It's just a list of the shoots that you will be doing. Why is it important? It's because it will guide you on really what you want to shoot, how do you shoot it, and etc. So just an example, we have here interview shots. You want to have this, you have working scenes, you have character interacting with community scene, portrait of the character scene, establishing shots. So these are some of the shot lists. But in terms of really seeing this in a list form, so I also have a sample. So you can create a table with three of this. Like for example, you can put location, you can put narrative description, and also the type of shot. So for example, your location is in the field, and your narrative description, what will we shoot in the field is let's say establishing shot of Indian field. So we can see maybe like you want sunrise of Indian fields, things like that. So what would be the type of shot? So you can put wide shots, like we can see the hills and things like that. Or if you have drone, then you can put like drone shots. And then another one is still the location is in the field, but what you want to shoot is Jane planting the crops. So what are the type of shot that you want? So maybe you have wide shot to see that, okay, this is in the farm and Jane was there in the farm. Medium shot where we see, who is planting. Let's say, okay, this is Jane planting. We can see her face. We can see what she's doing. And then close-up shots, maybe the close-up of her hands planting, let's say planting rice, just an example. We can see, okay, she's planting rice. So very easily with this shot list, you can already identify what are the shots that you need to do. So lastly, we have the storyboard. So storyboard is actually a graphic organizer that plans the narrative. And storyboards are a powerful way to visually represent present information. For me, in terms of documentaries or docu-feature, storyboards is not super necessary because we really don't know what will happen in a day. We anticipate, but sometimes we don't really know what would be the things that will happen. So storyboards are very good if you really want to shoot a certain type of videos. Like for example, you want to you already have like a narrative. It's not very docu style where you just shoot what's happening. It's more like you direct the person what they need to do. So storyboard is very important for that. But it's optional because again, it takes time to create a storyboard actually. So if you don't have much time to do that, then it's okay. You just have to do the other things. The concept notes, shot list, very important, things like that. So as I said, all of this you can download it later on. It's in one document that I will be sharing with you. So you can fill it out when you have the team brainstorming of your videos. So or later on, if you want to create more videos, then you can also use this template as well. So that's it for the pre-production and also preparation of your team. Can we have some Q&A before we proceed to production and post-production? Maybe I will need help from our staff to facilitate as well the Q&A. If you have some questions, you can raise your hand or you can do it in the chats. So Irish said you are allowed to unmute if you want to speak. So just unmute it.
There's one question here on the chat box about
Yeah.
set the time for the video clip.
Yeah. So yeah, I was talking more of the duration of the video itself. If, for example, we are talking about interviews, we don't really set the time on how long the interviews will be, because we will have to, we can edit it out later on. And from my experience, for example, in an interview, if someone is really passionate about what they're talking, then we can just let them talk, so that we can get all the best information that we can get and we don't miss out. And then later on, we can definitely edit it out. In terms of duration for, let's say, social media, it is advisable that we have more or less 2 minutes if we have those videos. It's always proven to have 2 minutes is a good duration for social media. Okay, so someone says, is there a editing software? Yes, so later on we will be sharing a very easy to use software. Thank you for the the question with this one. So later on, yes, we will be sharing something about that. Okay, any last questions? There's a question from Sarah. In the script, apart from writing the shoots and audio needed for the video, should we also put the whole script containing actions, background, and location at template? Not necessarily, no. If you, it's more, this one is more in the shot list. So you can do that in the shot list, just maybe a description in the script. Let's say, you know, if you want to say farmer, the shot would be like farmers doing training in the training center, that, like, just an example. So you don't need to like say every detail, like what the shot would be like, you know, close-up shots or things in the script. So no need for that. Just in the, maybe in the shot list, you can do that. Oh yes, don't worry. The editing software that we will be sharing is open source and very much accessible to all. Thank you for the technology, actually. Okay, so there's another question as part of the preparation. How do we select the best equipment? Okay, so later on we'll discuss this, the equipment, and also during the production, and also in the software in the post-production. So I think most of the questions really are for production itself. So let's move forward. I'll call TJ, my colleague, so that he will be the one to explain to you a lot of technical stuff, because he's really great at it. So TJ, take it away, I guess.
Hello. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sige. Let's proceed. So I hope you guys are still awake. So I encourage everyone to get their coffees, and I already have mine. So I encourage everyone to get at least their cup of coffee in before we proceed to this workshop. So for those people who have their coffees, can I get a thumbs up? Can I see you guys? Can I see you? Do you have your coffees with you? It's very essential. I understand. So cheers, everyone. So I really, it's very funny. I'd like to tell a very short story. It's very funny. Isn't it this feeling very familiar to you guys? Like, it's giving me a very lockdown vibes. Like when we were locked up in our rooms, and when we were locked down during the pandemic or during the COVID lockdown. So I hope you guys won't sleep during the entirety of the workshop. So yesterday, I was able to gauge you guys based on your feedback forms that you filled out. So and I've seen that all of us have different level of understanding and knowledge about cameras and stuff. So, but we can all agree with one thing. That thing is, can you see my screen? Not yet. All right.
I can see
Yes.
it.
So yeah. All right. So we can all agree that I think I've seen that problem, and we would like to address the problem as well. So we all can agree that we share the same problem, that we lack resources, right? So I really want to have the perspective for this workshop for us to really wait. All right. So I really like my idea for this workshop is for us to have an idea in that we can really implement, or we can really apply all of the knowledge that we are absorbing today in even in a very small resources. So I understand that most of us don't have access to different kinds of beers. I do understand that. So that's the problem that we're trying to address. So maybe Gladys a while ago said that we are your mentors, but I think most of us don't want somebody to tell us what to do. So I understand. So you can take all of our words as a reminder, or maybe you can just bring these words that we're gonna be talking about as your checklist in your photo or video production. So let's have an idea, or let's have the perspective for this workshop that all the things that we're gonna be talking about applies to both photo and video as well. So for number one in our checklist, we should number one, it's very obvious. You can do the production without the equipment, right? So we have here the different equipment. Number one is camera. Number two is audio. Number three is lights. Again, I'm saying that we don't have access to this kind of equipment, right? So we are opting to use our mobile phones, and for the audio, we're gonna be using our phone as a recorder, or if you have like the headphones or the wired headphones, you can also use that for the audio equipment. And for the light, of course, we don't have this fancy lights around us, so we're gonna be opting to maximizing the natural light. So I hope you guys get the idea. I'm still I'm just reading some of the comments. Maybe I'll try to address that later. But I hope you guys get the idea that we're gonna be maximizing the resources that we have, and that is our mobile phones, phone recorder, and the sunlight. So now we have our equipment already. Now we can proceed with the frame rate. So to really sum it up, basically frame rate is the size and image quality. So as you can see in this image, you can see that in your mobile phones. I guess it's in the top right or top left part of your camera settings. So you can see that you can see 4K, 1080p, and then to basically explain in a simple terms, it's basically the size of the image. So as you can see, you can visualize how big 4K is, how big 1080 is, and how big the other remaining resolutions. So basically, what we're really going after is a camera that can shoot 1080 and at least 30 frames per second. So you can see here as well the frame rate. So TJ, what does it mean? What does this frame rate mean? Basically, how do I put this into words? But to simplify the answers, basically more frame rate is the is most ideal for slow-mo, but the very downside of using high frame rate is the footage gets a lot darker. So the very ideal frame rate for us is 30 fps, because in the editing we can slow it down a bit and getting the light and getting more light at the same time. So basically we are really going after the look of 1080p and 30 fps. So just if you guys have questions, just list it down. I'll try to answer it later. So after the equipment, frame rate and resolution, number 3 is our must-have shots. Basically, the idea of must-have shots is the holy grail of the video. In other words, you must not end the shoot without having the shots. Basically, in order to pull off or a successful shoot, you must have these shots, which are establishing, mid shot, close up, and interview. We'll try to discuss it one by one. So for the first shot, that's establishing shot. So it gives the audience idea where the scene is taking place, and usually it's a wide shot. As you can see, it's a wide shot of a building and a city, and it's a wide shot of a mountain, or where people usually camps, and this one is wide shot of a forest, and this one is wide shot of an office. So in your case, you can try to think of what is the setting of our video. So in your case, maybe it could be a farm, it could be a forest, or it could be your neighborhood. So you can always, and you should always, and you should never forget to capture or to take establishing shot. All right. So when we say establishing shot, it's basically a wide shot where wide shot of a place. So establishing shot, wide shot of a place. So our next shot is mid shot. Basically, our mid shot, what this basically means is it basically introduces or emphasizes the subject and the environment. So this is ideal. It's the shot that we will use if we want to introduce our character. So it basically emphasizes your subject and your environment, and the composition of the shot is usually from head going down to the hips. So again, mid shot, introduction of character from head to hips. All right, is that clear? Is everybody following? Can I get a thumbs up? All
Yes.
right. All right. I hope everything is clear, no? So let's proceed. We have establishing. Number 2 is mid shot. Number 3 is a close up. Basically, a close up is showing the details, or may it be people or object. So my when we say, my tip for close up maybe is to shoot what your subject sees. For example, you're gonna be shooting your subject harvesting. As you can see in this photo, the farmer harvests his coffee bean. So basically, you want to capture what your subject sees. In this case, the farmer sees his harvest, his coffee beans, and this shot as well, as you can see, it's a close-up shot of a man or a person cooking. So basically, the idea of detail shot is for you to show what the subject is seeing. So I hope you guys are getting it. When we say close up, it's what the subject is seeing, right? And then it can also be like close up shot of your subject to show his or her
Emotions.
emotion, something like this shot or this kid. All right. So I hope you guys can follow. All right. So later we'll try to address the questions that you have. Let's proceed. And lastly, in your must-have shots, you need to have at least an interview or a profile shot. Basically, this is a profile shot. This is the heart of your content. And that's what Gladys has been talking about earlier, that this is where you get your sound bites. This is where you get to talk. This is where your subject get to talk about their organization or their story. So yeah. So the idea in framing in an interview, as you can see down here, you have to divide the frame into thirds. There's imagine yourself drawing an imaginary line, something like this, and you have to put, as you can see, as you can observe, all of the frames are in the same sides, most likely. So as you can see, there's a short side, and on the right part, there's a broad side. And the subject is looking towards over here, as you can see. So in framing a shot, once again, you have to frame your subject either to the left or to the right of the frame, looking towards, something like this. Okay? It's very self-explanatory, but it really helps. And you can also like to try to mid-frame as well. But avoid, my tip is to avoid your subject to look directly into the camera. Just you can ask your teammate or somebody to at least stand behind the camera and ask the subject to look to that person. Okay, I hope you guys are getting it. So let's have a recap. We have an establishing shot, place, establishing shot, place, mid shot, subject, and close up. It be close up of the people or the object, and lastly, your interview or your profile. All right. So this could also apply into photography as well. You can have you can take pictures in different angles. For example, you'll take an establishing shot of your of a place, of your project that you're going, or community that you're going to. You can also take an establishing shot of that, a mid shot, and detail, and a profile. So that applies to photography as well. So let's proceed. Next is framing and composition. Basically, what this means is we know that the world is in 3D form, right? But what when it comes to an image, the world becomes 2D. So having a really dynamic shot will help you to give your footage or to give your shot a bit more like dynamic or really more special. So the idea is that when you're shooting, just always incorporate 3 parts. The background, as you can see here, it's the trees. The middle ground, usually this is where the subject stands or the subject is located, and the foreground. Basically, what this does is it gives the viewers the feel it gives viewers feeling that that your shot is moving. So again, the idea is the world is 3D, is in 3D, right? There's an object in front, there's an object in the middle, and there's object in behind me. So the idea is for you to translate it into video. So in order for you to do that, you have to incorporate the background, the midground, and the foreground. All right. If you guys get it, can I get a thumbs up?
I think it's very hard to, I mean, I really had also some hard time on this, but maybe later on we can have some examples, not TJ, like how to do this. Yeah.
All right. Sure. We'll try that later. All right. So, but the idea is that is for you to incorporate background, middle ground, and foreground in your composition and your framing. Next one is camera movement. So basically, what this does is making the shot more dynamic. We've been seeing a lot of movements in every video that we consume. For example, a dolly in, it basically means moving forward and backwards, and pan, left to right by Charlie Puth. So yeah, it's basically pan means is pan to the left, pan to the right. All right. So tilt camera movement is basically going up and going downwards. But here's a big but. From the videos that you were able to produce last time, I've seen Gladys and I were able to see it. So we've been seeing a lot of movements there. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but here's a big but. This is our go-to shot actually. So in order for you to create the most safest shot, you can just like hold your camera in a very still manner like this without incorporating movement, because later on you can just edit that, or you can just make it more dynamic in the editing. And for us, that's the safest thing to do, especially when you're not very familiar of what's to happen. So basically our idea is to just follow and to just be still as possible. I know this is actually my my personal challenge as well, is I get too impatient. So most of the time that I get to move frame from one place to another, but during the editing, what I find really useful is a shot that is very steady and very just a still shot. So that's my take on this part for the camera movement. If you can just shoot in a very still manner, the better and the safer. All right. And you can always incorporate movements, no problem. But our go-to shot will always be a steady shot. All right. I hope you guys can still follow. We're almost done. So with all the shots that we've been talking about, You can always do that in handheld, or you can use a tripod to make it more stable. But in our case, if you are confident enough, if you are really confident with your skill in handling a camera, or you're very confident that your hands are very steady, you can always use handheld. But if not, if you're not that confident, you can just use a tripod. Again, the idea is that for you to shoot it in your mobile phones, right? So I know there's a lot. Actually, I have one. I don't know where did I put it, but uh, uh I have a portable tripod, as small as this one, like this. So that's what I've been using when I go outside, when I travel, because it's very easy to carry. So you can always opt to use a tripod or go handheld if you're very confident with your steady hands. All right. Lastly, second to the last, I guess, it's the lighting. Basically, what this means is it's what makes your subject pops out. Basically, it creates a well-exposed image. That's the idea, and used to create a tone and a mood in your photo or your video. And that's the very thing in photography as well, because the photo and the photography means light, right? It's basically photography means capturing light. So what will you shoot if you don't have any light source at all? So that's the idea, is for us to get an properly exposed image. So this is my personal thing. We are very big fan of sun as our light source. Yeah, we can it's always to use, it's always fun to use big lights and some fancy lights, right? But it's not always accessible, especially when you're in the community, and we've been experiencing it as well, that when we're in the community, when we go to the community, we don't have that access to electricity to charge our lights. So our big friend is really the sun. So my only tip for maximizing the sun as our biggest light source is to always look for the available light. May it be your windows. So when shooting, always look for a light source. So where does the light come from? Is it coming from the window, or is it coming from a light bulb, or an artificial light like this? All right. So always be mindful to where does the light come from. Or may it be your monitors. It could be a light source as well. So, or a screen. So the very thing that I find it very challenging when shooting in your phone is whenever your phone is always on an automatic mode. So TJ, what does it mean? Can you observe when you're shooting in your phone, even if it gets dark, it's always exposing like very bright, right? So the challenge is for you to lock that exposure. What I mean is I don't know if I'm able to let me just share screen.
I can share mine if you want.
All right,
But I don't
all
know if you can see it, but I don't know if it's possible.
Let me just share maybe.
Maybe you could share your screen now.
What I mean is what I mean when lacking exposure is like this. Can you see my screen? No.
No, I don't think so. Maybe you should
all right.
yeah,
I
stop
get
this
it.
one. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one we can see it.
Let me. What lacking exposure basically means is like this. Just imagine yourself shooting, right? I know most of you have been doing this. So basically, the light is constantly changing, right? So that's the idea. What you wanna do is to hard press it. As you can see, it says AE and AF lock, right? So the idea is for you to lock it and then expose it down. All right. So when you shoot, the exposure doesn't just adjust automatically. So that's the idea, for you to lock the exposure. All right. So basically that's the meaning of exposing, locking your exposure. All right. So, and also, since sun is our biggest light source and our biggest friend, just be mindful about the time of the day. And different times of the day have different feeling. All right. So, in our case, when we're doing the shooting, we usually are doing the final scene, or the most heartwarming scene during the before the day ends, and during the sunset or the golden hour. It's usually around 5-4 p.m. in the afternoon. So basically, you can just be mindful of the time when you're shooting. And we don't to prove to give you some tips, more tips, just avoid shooting against the light. And shooting in the rear afternoon casts too much shadow. What this basically means is shooting around 12 p.m. The sun is basically upwards, so the shadow will be more harsher, because the
TJ,
shadow
I think your PowerPoint, you can share the screen. Sorry.
yeah, I forgot.
Mhm.
All right, I'm so sorry. All right. So yeah, let me just repeat. Just be mindful about the time of the day, and just avoid shooting against the light, especially but it also has an exception when, for example, that's the shot that you're really going after. But the idea is for you to make the subject pop, or make the subject stand out. That's why my advice is to avoid shooting against the light. All right, so shooting in the afternoon casts too much shadow, just like what I've said. The sun is above, so it casts too much shadow, so it makes your subject more looks like this one, like this one. So we avoid shooting during in the around 12 noon or 1 p.m. So but what else to avoid is to not exposing the subject, right? Basically, the idea in lighting is for you to make the subject pop out, or make the subject stand out. All right, so don't be confused with the lighting. The very purpose of lighting is for you to just for you and the viewers to for you to let the viewers know who is the subject. All right, so final reminders. Let's just have a quick recap. So here are our checklists. Number 1 is equipment. Basically, it's our phone, it's our headphones, it's our phone recorder, and our the editing software could be our laptop. So yeah, frame rate, our ideal is 1080, 30 frames per second. Must have shot. Oh, what are those? Establishing, mid shot, close up, and an interview. All right, let me repeat. Establishing, place, mid shot, subject, close up is the object, or the object that your subject is interacting to. And lastly is the interview, or the sound bites for your video. All right. The camera movement, you can always go pan, left to right, tilt, up and down, dolly, in and out. And the shot that we're really after is still shot. Okay, lighting is always shoot with natural light or what's the available light. Just always be mindful of the time of the day. All right. So yeah, I understand what you're feeling right now. Yes, being technical can be overwhelming. I understand that you really want to apply all of this, right? So yeah, this is a good knowledge to apply, but we always tend to forget that we should always go back to our why. As what I've heard a while ago, the very idea of what we're doing this is to showcase the climate change solutions, the climate change mitigation. All right. Yes, I understand being technical can be overwhelming, but we should get back to our why. We are doing this for the social impact or to the impact that it may create to the people or to the environment. And that's the thing that we should never forget. All right. So if we have questions, maybe we can entertain questions already. Let me just read. Do you want to hop on, Gladys?
Yes, I will help you. Now, there are a lot of questions here for sure. It is very vital to ask questions at this point. So I already gave my advice for other questions in the chat. But I think Cassandra was saying about gimbals. So for those who do not know what a gimbal is, so it's it's something like this. So sorry, I don't think my background is changing it. So it's
Perhaps you
basically
can take photo of it and just share.
yes, definitely. So maybe I'll just turn off my blur. But yeah, basically a gimbal is a device where we put the camera. So this is more for the there's also gimbal for smartphones actually, but it makes your shot steady. So when you use this one, it's not shaky, you know, unlike like holding a camera where you use your hand as a tool to make it steady. So the gimbal will do that for you to have a steady shots if you are following your subjects. It's really a good tool as well. And I think Cassandra was saying that what is this? If it's good to have it, definitely if you have a gimbal, then use that, please, so that you can have a steady shots. But otherwise, if you don't have, then as TJ said, handheld is okay and tripod is better. Yeah, tripod is better. So even us pros do not do handheld much, you know, because it will really create a static video in the end. So just, you know, doing this like handheld, very steady shots would be already okay. And doing a lot of angles, different angles. You have wide shot, mid shot, close ups, you know, all of those things you have to get it. So that when you edit later on, you will have a variety of shots to choose from, and your edit will be dynamic as well. So, yeah. Other questions for TJ? Yeah, that one. Yeah, TJ was sending the gimbal. Are there some other questions that you can unmute? I think your camera, your audios.
Hello. All right, just feel free, guys, if you have questions. I'll try to.
I think there's a question here, TJ. Someone says most of us need to shoot videos in the field with no professional or professional personnel or
Yeah,
equipment?
that is my question. That is my
Yes.
question. Actually, we always have activities going on in the field, and we need to have tiny reels for to compile later into some proper videos. So, what are the guidelines that we can follow to improve the quality of the videos and the photographs as well? So that we can share it in some better way to portray the activities we have. That was my question.
Great. Thank you so much. TJ, do you want to answer? Give tips to Wasim?
Yeah. Since as we were talking about earlier, no, the very thing that we're really trying to maximize is our resources, or the things that we have. Really, that's our smartphone. So in order for you to have at least a good video, is for you to apply what we've discussed. Basically, shooting in a steady format, or in a steady position, or showing different kinds of angle. That's shot, a mid shot, a close up, and an interview. And basically, in the editing, you can just edit those, and I would say that would really give much more value in your videos. So especially like nowadays, professional cameras don't really matter that much, just like as before. So people are really into using their phones, especially in my case too. I've been posting in my personal account using my phone only, because I have this sickness that I feel very tired whenever I carry a big cameras, and I don't want to edit it in a very traditional manner. I just want to be fun and be free, so I just use my phone. So basically, in applying all of all of the things that we've talked about, you can have at least a very more meaningful and dynamic video.
Yeah, just to quickly add, just exposing your subject well, having the establishing shots, the mid shots, and also the close-ups will already give you a dynamic range of photos or videos that you will do. So hopefully you will apply that, as TJ said. I think Miss Lani is raising her hand.
Thank you, Ma'am Gladys. I think if we can help point out, because it's difficult to show in camera, no, the cell phone. If you can have a screenshot and just show in the slide what setting, no, like TJ was saying, the light. So how can you show it? Where with which part of the setting to click to help us visualize how to do the setting for the lights, etc. No, because I know it's difficult to do with the camera. No, see, like if we just do like this, so it's very difficult. So if you can just take a photo and share it and I'm not sure how to do it, but perhaps different shots, and this one and next this one, next this one, for to make it easier, no, for our partners. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Lani. I think we will include that in the if not now, then we can include that in the PowerPoint as well. But TJ, do you think we can just have a little exercise, just a little exercise with our partners, like just to do it now? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe you can take it away.
Oh, I don't know, like it's a bit hard, as Miss Lani was saying. But maybe you can show because sorry, I think maybe you can show in your screen like where to click, things like that.
Screenshot the phone
screenshot.
and then send the screenshot via the, I think we can show it in the, perhaps we can help, no? If you can send this in the chat box and then participants can see. So I'm not sure, just setting the, I think setting the light. So yeah.
What do you think, TJ? How can...
Yeah. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Miss Lani. But to give we all know that the smartphone is very straightforward, right? So maybe I can just show you how to change the setting of the resolution. But in terms of navigating the light and stuff, it's more of a automatically. So basically what smartphone is doing is it's in automatic mode. So basically when you shoot, it exposes on its own. So we can having different smartphones may cause us different results. So what I can show you right now is how to change your resolution. Maybe let me try. So yeah, as you can see, I'm in my camera. So in my settings, basically, when you're using iPhone, you just go to camera app.
Yeah, that's
like this.
great.
So as you can see, that there are a lot of options, and what I said a while ago is we are opting for 1080. Already selected it. Right. So you can always enable this setting, the grid lines, the level, and some other stuff. So when we go back to our camera, basically this is what it looks like. So maybe I can just show it, or this one. So what I was saying a while ago is the smartphone automatically gives you a proper exposure. All right, so all you have to do is to just hard press like this. When you hard press it, you can see that box. Basically what you need to do is, if you feel like it's very dark, you can just pull it up. When it's when it's very bright, you can just pull it down.
Okay.
All right, so basically that's the idea. Since it's not a professional camera, it's a smartphone. What the smartphone is doing is giving you the automatic exposure. All right, what I've been talking a while ago is for you to just lock the exposure, for the camera to have an idea of what the exposure you are trying to expose, or what exposure you're trying to get. All right, so in my case, I'm trying to get the exposure of this keyboard because it's very bright. Because as you can see, if I put it up, it's very bright, right? So what I'm gonna be doing again is, it's basically hard press it and pull it down. All right. So in our case, it's not really that hard, since we are shooting in our smartphone. It's basically giving us the very automatic way of shooting videos. So that's not really a problem at all, which is a good thing. I find that a good thing. So do you have any more questions?
Yeah, so first of all, go to settings and set your camera to 30 frames per second, TJ, right? If you open your camera and then go to settings, and then you can see all the settings here that TJ was saying. So you have video resolution here. Highest resolution is best. So I have 4K in my camera. So I'll use 4K because I have a higher resolution. And then frame rate here, we have 30 FPS, 60 FPS. So I'll do the 30 FPS for standard frames per second. And then that's it. You can now shoot, start shooting. And then
Yeah.
as TJ said, exposure, just double click it. For example, I'm exposing myself and then I'll just click myself, maybe just to do the light, dim the light,
Okay.
expose the
Okay,
light.
great. Mm.
Yes. So that's it.
All right.
There.
So there's a question from Cassandra. She's asking if you would recommend any shooting apps or apps in shooting videos, both on iOS and Android. Yes, we do. But as we were talking a while ago, we are opting to the very basic. So you can just always use your native camera app in shooting, because it's the very accessible and very accessible, especially when you're shooting like very on the spot run and gun stuff. So it's very easy to access. So again, we have recommended apps, but our suggestion is for us to stick around with the native camera app for now.
Yeah. I think
Because,
one of the biggest mistakes also that we think, right, is the focus. Like we think that having the video, doing the video in the camera is already okay, but focusing the person that we want to shoot is very, very important. So that's why, like, double clicking, your phone, your app, your camera, to focus the person that you want to shoot is very important. So don't forget to focus those as well. I think I've seen some videos that the focus is in the background. So be mindful to that. Sometimes you are in the sunlight and you cannot really see if it's focused. So just put your hand here. Like, for example, this is your camera. You cannot see if it's focused or not. Just put your hand in here and just see if the camera is focusing on the person, not the background. So for example, right now, like, you can see me focused in the camera and my background is a little bit blurred. So that's what we really want, to expose, to focus the person that we want to shoot. But yeah, native camera is the best. You don't need to have the apps actually to get the best shots you need.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? We'd love to hear from you, because I don't know if you guys can. I know it's very a little bit technical, and it's a very visual thing to learn, but we'll try our best to address your questions. So don't hesitate to ask.
I think one of the pro tips as well. Okay, so Anna was saying editor app. So later we will also talk about the post-production, which is the editing. But I think one of the biggest tips really that I can say in terms of shooting is that just having it steady. Steady shots. If you're doing phone, just steady is the best way. So it's a bit hard to do, like shaky, because sometimes it's a bit shaky. So just make your hands as steady as possible when you're shooting. So if you wanted to go smoothly going there, just make it as smooth as possible, patient as possible, because phones are very sensitive. It's very small. So you have to be really patient in doing this. And in terms of interview, having tripod is actually the best, because that's your sure shot. You need to have your interviews as a sure shot, that nothing is interfering, not even shaky things that will be interfering. So we really suggest to have it as steady as possible. Having a tripod is possible. Any other questions? I think also Anna was talking about landscape or portrait. Definitely landscape. This is the landscape, this is the portrait, right? So let's do landscape shooting always. Unless you want to do Facebook Reels, which you need to do it in this way. But please, let's do it when we're saying video, then we do it like this. Any more questions before we proceed to post-production? Post-production is editing.
There are
Alright,
some comments here to please show once again, but perhaps as you mentioned, Gladys, you can send after this session an instruction, no? Like camera settings, all those. So don't worry if you are not able to catch it. I think we can request Gladys and TJ to give that like instruction. So thank you.
yes, definitely. All of the presentations, we will send it to you, and also some of the things that you requested, we will send it to you. So don't worry. All right. Shall we proceed, or a small break? Like Irish, a little bit help here. Do we need to proceed, or let's have a short break first?
Yeah, we can have a break.
Okay,
We can have
maybe a
a break.
short break. Yeah, stretching.
5
Well,
minutes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you still have some questions, actually, you can just ask us during the break. We're just drinking some water. All right. So did everyone have their coffee or water so we can resume? If everyone can hear me, maybe just heart reaction in our Zoom. Let's see. All right. All right. A lot of people have their heart reactions already. So there is a very interesting question for that we need to address. So Irish was saying that for most of us, you know, the shots are usually outdoors and in the farms, and then interviewing farmers with their farms in the background. So how can we do that? And Sonny was also saying that, is it possible if we shoot the picture first and then record the sound of farmer? We can mix the picture and sound later. So I think I would also need DJ's advice on this, but in terms of shooting, firstly, interviews. So interviews really would be great if we have not noisy we are not in a noisy place. So as much as possible, if it's in outside, then outside without too much noise. Let's say the biggest noises are maybe, let's say, cows, the sound of animals, or the sound of vehicles actually is one of the most interference that we can hear. So if we can just avoid that, better. That's the one thing that we can do. And then as we suggested, having separate audio recording is very important as well. So do not just rely on your phone. For example, you are shooting with your phone, so do not rely much on this audio from this phone. It would be great if you have a separate, let's say, a separate phone where you can have your audio. Let's say if you have a microphone, let me just get my
I've
microphone.
sent a picture, but I think every one of us have this earphones.
Yeah.
So basically what we are doing when we are recording audio from different device is we're gonna plug the earphones and pull it around the neck of the subject going inside, and then make sure to record voice recording to the phone. All right, so basically we have a phone recording and we have a video recording, and later in the editing we're gonna sync it. So that's the idea. So if we don't have much access to or audio equipment, the very thing that we should do is look for earphones like this one. All right. So I hope you guys get it.
Yeah, 3 things that we can do actually. I'm just unblurring my screen. So if you have a microphone, then you can just plug it in another phone, not the one that you shot, but another phone, maybe from your colleague. Just maybe put it here and then press, record the voice recorder, not the camera recorder, but this one, voice recorder here. As you can see, I have a lot of recording because sometimes we record on my phone when we do interviews. So just, press the record, and this is what it looks like to have an audio recording. So you have this microphone, just put it under, like from the clothes, like under it, and then you can just put it up like right here. Then you can put it the microphone, you can just clip it. So this is like if you have a microphone, right, you can clip it. But if you don't have a microphone, then as TJ was saying in the chats, you can see it, a headphone. You can see it, a headphone can also be a microphone, the same as what we will be doing. Plug it in your phone, maybe put it under your the shirt of your subject, or maybe put it like around in the neck line, and then just, you know, clip it somewhere here so that we cannot see it. So that could also be your microphone. But if you really do not have access to this, then just having your one other phone as a voice recorder, just let your colleague say, can you be the audio person? Just if this is the microphone side of your phone, then just hold, you know, press record, and then just put it near, very near the subject that who is talking. So for example, if I'm the subject, then maybe your colleague is here, right? We cannot see him or her in the camera, but still very close, that the voice can be picked up in the phone. So that's why it's very important to have an audio recording. Now, should we separate this process? It's advisable not to separate this, because then when we edit later on, it would not look good. It would be very hard for the editor to do that. So it would be nice if we have like record it simultaneously. At the same time, we also we also save time, because we don't need to re-record it again. If we really cannot find a place outside, you know, if it's really noisy outside, then maybe indoors is okay. Just having some light, we open the windows, things like that can be also okay. So, but ultimately, if you see, you know, viral videos right now, just an example, if they have a really good audio, then you'll be engaged, right? Like to watch more, because really audio is very important in video production. So that's our take on this one. All right, to wrap up the stages of production, we really need to share with you the post-production process. So this is the editing. So we have talked about pre-production, the planning, production, the shooting, now the post-production, which is very crucial with all the things that we have been talking about. So let me just share my screen again. Oops. Share this one. All right. So there will be two things. This is a bit interactive for us, so hopefully you can you can take notes with this one as well. I just want to ask Irish, that is this recording? Because I can see that it's not. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so post-production editing stage. So there are two softwares that we want to introduce to you, and you will be happy with the second one. So the first one is the Adobe Premiere Pro. So this is really for maybe mid-level or pro level, because all of the
For presentation, guys.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, sorry.
Can try it.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then share again. Oh, sorry. All right, what about now? Okay, great. So let me go back a little bit. So as I was saying, post-production is the last stage of the production process, and it's called the editing stage. So we will introduce you two softwares that we will be demonstrating, but actually the second one is what you might be very happy about. So the first one is the Adobe Premiere Pro. This is for mid to pro levels. Personally, we use this with TJ, and I use Premiere Pro because there are a lot of complicated things, like very good, like, how do you say that? Like, it's a very good tool for us to do the editing, especially complicated things, the complicated scenes or complicated editing that we need to do. But we have found out that CapCut, they have a web version, and this is very, very friendly for beginners. So TJ, can you share a link to them, please, so that they can also open it in their screens? Okay. So later on, we will explore those editing softwares, but I will before we start the editing process. So having the software ready is very important. So if you haven't have those, you can try to open it up later, or you can download. And then for the editing process, these are the things that you need to be ready already, right? So these are the different types of footage from the shots that you have made, right? So the first one is the A-roll. A-roll means this, most likely this is the interview. This is where we get the audio that you want to put in your videos. So this is possibly the heart, the story of your video, because all of the information you want, or all the things that you want to share will be here. And then the next one is the B-rolls, or the cutaways. So this is actually the crucial part of your edit, since it makes the video more compelling. So for example, if you want to share how the solutions that you are doing in your communities, then having the B-rolls or the cutaways, the shoot that you did, will be aiding that. Will be aiding that, and we call it the B-rolls. And then the last one is the graphics and the text. So basically, this is a tool we use to give more emphasis on the information told, or visualizing technical terms. So if we really can't visualize what we are talking about, then maybe having graphics and text will aid us to do this, to let our viewers see what we are talking about. So these are the types of footages that you need to prepare, or you if you already have these footages, right, you need to sort out. You need to sort out what are the A-rolls, what are the B-rolls, and the graphics as well, so that in the editing you would have a smooth editing process altogether. So in terms of footage, so for sure, this is what you can see. For example, the A-rolls are obviously your interview. So if you have two cameras, you will have like camera A for the interview. So as you can see, it's a mid shot. So mid shot until maybe your tummy. We can see a lot of the subject here. And then if you have another camera, which it would be very great, then you'll have the B camera. So this is your A-rolls, your interview. In terms of interviews, we advise, if you want to make it more dynamic, then we advise to have two cameras. But if you don't have the resources, which sometimes we also don't, having an A camera is already great, and having it in this manner, the mid shot is the best. Don't do this other shot, which is the close-up shot, because then if you want to make it more dynamic later on, for example, if you want to zoom it out to make it a close-up shot, then you cannot do, or mid shot, then you cannot do that if you have a close-up one. So this is your A-rolls, label, maybe in your footages already label it A-rolls. And then your B-rolls, as I said, your cutaways, your scenes, of the things that you want to put in your video. So just an example, this lady, for example, she has a scene that she's picking up some flowers, and then maybe a close-up scene that she's eating or tasting something, and then we can also see what she's eating as a close-up. So most of the B-rolls are really your takes on the subject that you are doing. So for example, if you're interviewing a farmer, then your B-rolls for that farmer most likely would be the day-to-day life that he or she is doing. So those are your B-rolls. And then graphic text is just an aid for you to explain more what you want to say. If you really cannot put it into visuals, especially technical terms. So just for the example, of course, Mr. Antonio Gutierrez, we just put the name, so that means we it's an aid for us to know who he is. He's the Secretary General of United Nations, things like that. So we want to know more who he is, so we put text, right? And then in the second one is the graphics. So as you can see, there's a data here in this side, very sophisticatedly done with the interviewee. So we can see, like, if she was talking about some data and climate change, then we can really see this in this manner. So those are the types of footages that you need to prepare. Now, once you have all those elements, then you might be thinking, how can I start my editing process? So these are really the elements of editing. So it will help you create your story, to arrange or to develop your story more. So the first one, and this is I would say in chronological order. The first thing that you really need to think about is the sound bites, or the voiceover, or the things that someone was saying. So this is really the heart of your video. So as I was saying here, words that matter from the interview, possibly mostly in the interview, or if you have the voiceover, then you can have the voiceover as well. So this is the first thing that you need to edit, because don't put everything already. Later on, we will let you see how it goes, but don't put everything in the timeline and just start editing. Firstly, just do the sound bites first, like edit first, solidify your story first, what you want to say. So maybe all the A rolls will be there, and just cut the information that you want to put, right? Sorry. Right. The next thing, okay, so after you have all the sound bites that you have, the story that you want to tell, now it's done. Now you want to make it more dynamic, right? You want to let people see what are you talking about. So this is where your B-rolls comes in, your visuals comes in. So if the farmer in the interview was talking about the process of creating maybe concoction for organic farming, just an example, maybe your B-rolls would be that farmer doing the concoction and preparing it. So those make sense in what he or she was saying in your sound bites, right? So those are some of the B-rolls that you can prepare as well. You can put it on top of your sound bites. And then after you have all the visuals, you have your story, right? You have the visuals right already. Now you want to have more feelings, right? You have you want people to be more compelled with you. So music is actually a really good thing for this one. So you can put ambient sound, you can put your sound effects in your video. But I think in terms of music, just, you know, a little bit of it, like don't overpower your sound bites because of the music, would make it more compelling. Like for me, I want to have, when I'm editing, I want to have the best sound bite as much as possible, so that when I put the music that I want, the mood, because music is like a mood, then it will make sense. It won't overpower what I was talking about, or what the sound bite, the story I want to share. So just think of music as an aid to set the mood, you know, set the mood of your video, but not really to be the center of attention with your video as well. And lastly, I'm saying this lastly, other graphics, as I was saying, like title cards, names, and other images. If you want to put some other images, like just put it in this graphic lastly, because graphics usually is very heavy laden, you know, like if it's in Premiere Pro, if you're editing in the Premiere Pro software, graphics will consume a lot of your memory card, and you know, it kind of uh it kind of gives you sometimes, like you crash your Premiere Pro, you know, it because the memory is it's getting a lot of memory. So I would suggest that this is the last thing that you do after all of the things that you have done. And then pro tip, just please save, like always save. Save your files, because then in the end, we don't want to have like for example, if your software crashes and then you have to start all over again, right? Sometimes I think we had some of these moments. So yeah, just keep on saving your projects. So how does editing works? I was talking about editing, and maybe you're saying, well, how does that work, Gladys? So I think TJ will share his screen now, and we will demonstrate to you a little bit on how to do sequence editing, and also navigating the software. So I'm sorry. So I will be talking. We will be demonstrating to you the CapCut CapCut it's not a software actually, because it is on the web. So it's technology is so cool right now. It's already have something on the web, and this is a good software for beginners, definitely. And then we will be talking about familiarizing the editing interface, how to drag footages, create sequence, add music and additional sound, adding text, adding transitions if this is optional, and then how to export. So TJ, maybe you could share your screen. Paige, hello. Okay. All right. So we will be incorporating what I have been talking about a while ago. So if you can go to your chats, and there's like a link there, if you want to go with us, you know, to see the interface as well in your own devices, then you can go. So I was saying this is a good online editing editing how to say it? It's not a software. It's a an online editor, which we can edit our footages. So the first thing that actually we can do is to familiarize the interface. So this is the CapCut video editor. It is online, so you need to have a Wi-Fi when you are editing this. Right, TJ? Can we edit without Wi-Fi?
No. It's a web base. Basically, it needs a Wi-Fi or an internet connection enabled for you to edit. But the very pro side of using a web base is it doesn't demand too much from your system. What it means is basically it's relying from your internet connection. So when we hear editing software, right? When we hear editing software, right, they're most of the people are talking, you need a powerful system, you need a good laptop enabled for you to edit. So in this case, if you're gonna be using CapCut, that won't be the case. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would really recommend this, because one of the problems that we always encounter if we don't have a good laptop is the storage. So now, because if we edit on our laptop, it will take much of our storage, our graphic memory. So this one, it already solves that problem. So the first thing that we can see is the interface. So maybe TJ could demonstrate what are the interface in this editing web editor.
Yeah, so thank you, Gladys. So basically, this editor is very self-explanatory. As long as you can read, you can really understand what's going on. So you have different tabs here. So basically, it's as you can see, there's a media tab where you can drag your footage. The stock footage is also available, but it's kind of limited. So we suggest to shoot your footage on your own. So there's also photos and audio. You can also get here, and you can also get a template text. For example, you need a title card for your title. For example, if we drag this here, so we can just edit. Yeah. So we also have captions. Yeah, and transcript, stickers, effects. So yeah, it's very self-explanatory. So, but for now, we'll be focusing on this part. So this is where you dump your footage. So what you have to do is basically drag your footage. So for example, this is my footage that I've shot from the from the community. So I'll just drag it here. Also, maybe I'll drag the I'll drag the music. I'll just put it here. So basically, the speed of your editor depends on the speed of your internet. So just make sure if you're editing, you have a stable internet connection. Don't worry, since it's a web-based editor, when your system crashes, it automatically saves. That won't be a problem at all, since all of the footage will be saved via cloud. Will be saved on the internet. So yeah.
And then we have the timeline as well, right? TJ, I think you're muted.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe let's move on. So
Yeah.
as we were saying a while ago, what are the shots again that we need? We have the establishing shot for the
A-rolls.
place, the A-roll,
Yeah, A-rolls
the
interview.
mid shot, the character, the object or the details, and lastly is the interview or the A-rolls. So in this case, since we didn't have an interview, we have an audio. Let's say this is our interview. Then I'll just drag it. So if I don't know if you can hear it.
Before one can leave the
Yeah, we
situation.
can hear it.
All right. So let's say we have our interview already. We've got the interview. We've spliced the interview. So what shot are we going after? The very first shot, which is, what's this shot again?
Establishing.
Basically, what establishing means is the location. So we want to
Yes.
shoot. We want to start our scene with establishing shot.
Before one can leave.
All right. And then next is a mid shot. Maybe we can look for a mid shot. Maybe this guy. How this works is basically just like in mobile. Oops.
Dragging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically dragging and pulling like this. So when you're when you're finding the right timing, it's basically just feel the vibe of the video. Just it's really up to you on how long will it be. So basically, for if we say
Before one can leave the situation they are in.
yeah, and maybe I can just cut to the next clip. Maybe after mid shot, what's the next shot? Maybe we can
Close up,
try
maybe?
close up, or maybe this one.
Yeah.
Or maybe this one. Because he's a farmer. I like to focus when you're cutting. Just make sure to look for the best cut. In this case, maybe I'm looking for I love this part when the sun hits. I love to include that and then shorten a bit, maybe. Yeah. About that.
They are in. They have to believe there is another path.
And maybe I can cut. And then maybe this one. Another mid shot. Since I really want my video to be dynamic. So I want to something like that, maybe. Then
Have to believe there is another path worth taking.
how about we include or so include the scene is already ending, so we better plan what would be our last shot. And for my last shot, I love it to be this one because it seems like he's leaving the farm, right? So I'd like it to be that. I would love this shot to be the final shot. So this is just a quick edit, but this is the idea. Wide shot.
Before one can leave the
Mid shot.
situation they are in.
Close
They have
up.
to believe there is another path
Mid
worth
shot
taking.
again. Then close
It's
up.
not always seeing.
Then wide shot.
But
you get the idea. So basically, when you're editing, you have to think, is my edit dynamic? So what dynamic means is very diverse or very it has different angles. For example, I have here wide, mid, close up, mid again, close up, and then wide. So when ending a scene, it's very ideal to end it in a wide shot like this.
As you can see,
before
this
one
is
can
just
leave.
like one scene. So for example, if you are shooting something like this, like someone who is like working in the farm, then definitely we can already see in this edit of TJ's that we need to have establishing shots, we need to have like mid shot, close-up shots, and other angles of mid shots, and also other angles of close-up and then wide shots. So it if someone will say, oh, making a video is easy, I would say making a video is patience, actually. Like, as you can see, if we want to make it more dynamic, having different angles is the best way to do it. And usually for me and TJ, that's what we do, we are observing a scene that's ongoing. So for example, if it's a farming scene, then we really need to get all the shots, establishing mid shot, close-ups, and then different types of close-ups, different types of mid shots, things like that, so that you will have enough footages during your edits. So in terms of the editing elements that I was saying, so you can see the speech or the audio that TJ dragged first is the, let's say, the A roll. Sorry, we don't have like an interview one, but let's just say this is our audio that we want to have as our storyline. And then after that, we determine, okay, this is our storyline. Then we put the B rolls, which is the shots that you have gotten, and then just make it as dynamic as possible, cut it as dynamic as possible. Maybe just another quick tip is that if you shoot a scene, then make sure that you tell a story. Like, as you can see, it's storytelling. You see that this is a farm, and then there's a farmer who is your character. What is he doing? He is planting this type of plant. And then what are other things that he do? He investigates his plants, things like that. And then maybe walking around his property, and then ending shot is him walking towards also in his property. So as TJ said, last shots would be really good if it's like a wide shot, so that it means that it's ending, things like that. So now that you have your story, so this is it, right? Like, okay, I have my story, very solid, I'm happy with this one. This is the only time that you think about, okay, what's the mood? How do I want to make it feel? Is this okay already to not have a music? That's fine. You don't need music actually to set the mood if it's what you want. But having music also gives you more, like, as I said, the mood, setting of the mood. So for example, I don't know, TJ, what do you want the music for this one? Maybe that one is cool. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe let's try this. And I'm just messing around, so please bear with us. So yeah, you can also search in this tab. You can just search the keyword of your music. Then let's try.
Yeah, I think there was a question in the survey that you did on the where to get music, right? So in CapCut, you can already have audio ready for you. So this is as I said, this is a really good app that we can have. We can play around as well. So go ahead, TJ.
So the idea is since we have an interview or the sound bites, as you can see underneath. So the sound must be the volume of our music should be lessened, right? So how do you do that? So basically, on your right part of the screen, as you can see here, there's basic. So what you have to do is, this is a bit technical, so I really ask you guys to pay attention very closely. So what you have to do is to press the moment the sound bite comes in. So that's where you press your music. In this case, it's this one. So I have to play this playhead. Then I have to push this button, which is a free. Basically, what it does, it basically tells the audio to at this part you have to be silent, something like that. So maybe
It's like a
Yeah.
stopper. Yeah, it's like a
yeah,
stopper.
it's a stopper. So basically I'll just put it down around, the ideal is around 18 to 19. Let's see if it's actually depending on how loud your music is. So in this case, maybe we can try. The same piece works for for this as well. For example, copy is Control C, Control X is cut, something like that. The split is Control B, I guess. Oh yeah, it's Control B. Control B. Yeah, you can see B.
Those
All
are
right.
just some shortcuts that you can do as well.
So let's go back to the keyframes. So the idea is for us to lessen the volume of the music, since we need to hear the sound bites of our interview, right?
Before one can leave the situation they are in,
Can you see the difference?
they have to believe there is another path worth taking. It's not always seeing, but trusting.
So in this part, where the sound bite ends, I would love to my music to come back again. Wait. Oops. All right. So can you see this little dot? It's basically it's basically the stopper. So I have to get back the volume around 0. Be around that one. So
But trusting.
see the difference? So basically what this keyframe does is a stopper. It's basically telling the music to I want this volume for this part. So this points are for the points to where you put up or put down your music. So in this case, the point number 1, it says it's 0 decibels. Basically, it's the normal volume. So when we go here, as you can see, it changes to 16. Basically, it lessens the volume. So when I go back here, this point is 16 decibels as well. Then if we go here, it's 0.3 because we want to bring back the music again. So what I can do now is, since the scene is ending, maybe I'd love to put some transitions. Maybe if we can try here, or no, this one. I'd love a
No.
simple fade out.
Maybe simple fade out.
Yeah, a simple fade out. The very tip that we can leave you guys is to just edit as simple as possible, because I know that this software has a lot of transitions and can be a lot overwhelming, and it can like tempt you to use all of those. But the very essence of editing is for us to put it all together and edit as simple as possible. I'd also like to put dissolve in my audio. So how do I do that? So basically, we just have to press your audio again and then just scroll up this section, fade out section, maybe around 3 seconds. So yeah.
Maybe you can also show them how to delete, to cut DJ, to cut the audio, let's say.
Yeah, I've told you already a while ago, you just have to press Control or Control B.
Or you can also right click, right? Right click and then split, or not?
No,
Oh,
it's
sorry.
not possible.
Okay.
So you still have to, or you can just press this
Oh
part.
yeah, you can press that one.
So yeah. So if you want to cut footage. Same goes with audio. You just have to press it first, then Control B. All right. I hope you get it. You have any more questions? Maybe we can also try adding text. How about that?
Yes.
Maybe a subtitle. Let's have a subtitle first. What is she saying again? So basically, how you work with subtitle is you just drag it and make sure it's on timing with your audio. For example, yeah. All right. Let me listen.
Before one can leave the situation they are in,
What did he say?
Before
one
one
can
can leave the situation they are in,
Before
one
can
can leave
leave
the
their
situation
situation there are
they
in.
are in.
Right. So
I
how
think
do
leave the situation.
live the situation? Live
Yeah.
the situation. So how
Yeah.
do I scale down? So we just have to refer to this box. So basically it's very self-explanatory. Maybe around, I don't know if that's possible. All right. How about 5? So yeah, because scale it down here. So what I can do is I can also drag it down since it's a subtitle. The ideal place for subtitle is around the middle of this frame. Then you just put it down, just so like what you did from before. Right. Then I'll just extend this maybe.
before one can leave the situation they are in.
So basically, that's how you do subtitle. How about Jay, if we add title? Maybe I love this one. Maybe we can use this one. Yes. Video by AFA. The interface is very straightforward, so it's very straight to the point. You just have to edit the text from there, as you can see in my right side of the screen. So for example, farmland. Farmland.
Yeah, this is really good for beginners.
Yeah.
And even not beginners, like I would love to create my videos here.
It's very easy, and
Yeah.
the assets are very good. The preset, the templates in the text area is very good. So yeah, maybe we can watch.
Before one can leave the situation they are in, they have to believe there is another path worth taking. It's not always seeing, but trusting.
Get the idea? So now that we have our edit, we have to export it. And exporting is very simple. You just have to refer to this button. As you can see, maybe we can rename it Photoshop. Yes. And I think as what we talked earlier, we are that's the resolution that we are going after is 1080p. So if we set for if we click the advanced settings, we can mess around the frame rate and the file type. So we are going for MP4, maybe 30, 24 and 30 are ideal, but in this case, we just choose 24. So, that, I'll just press export. You just have to wait for it. Then after that, let's just wait.
Dun 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 dun. It's really easy. I love it.
Now,
And then it goes to your
not
computer,
yet,
right?
not yet.
Oh, not
Yeah,
yet.
but
Okay.
you just you can choose some options. So you can download, you can post it on your page directly, but I suggest you download it first so you can view it first before you upload. In that case, and let me download it. Maybe we can watch.
We cannot see it. I think there you go.
Right. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right. All right.
Before one can leave the situation they are in, they have to believe there is another path worth taking. It's not always seeing, but trusting.
So, yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. Do you have any questions? But the possibilities are there are many possibilities in creating a video. So I hope you get to imagine in how this all technical skill or technical insights that you gained today will apply to your video that you're gonna be producing. So yeah, in this case, maybe in the subtitle you just have to do it all over again. So in that case, I can copy this one, Control C, Control V as well. So I just need to repeat the process all over again. Then that's it. You have any questions?
Yeah, very. I think that the editing is what like it excites people, right? So this is just one editing device or software that you can do, and but definitely you can do it as well in Adobe Premiere, which is more there are a lot of things that you can do there, especially if you have like longer videos or like 4K resolution, big resolution, then it's also best if you do the Premiere. Maybe you can also show TJ what the Premiere Pro's setting, and let's see how different or how similar the similarities of it with this one. If you have some questions, please chat if or maybe raise your hand if you have some questions. Oh, okay. Anna has some question.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay, you can hear me?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Very nice process, I think. But firstly, I work in the community media, and usually when we take a video, make a video to the communities like a farmer or a pedicab driver or the children, sometimes we have problem when we want to get the natural pic or natural shot of video. But sometimes when we ask to them, we want to make a movie, like sometimes they feel shy, or for children, sometimes suddenly they move when we take a shot, or maybe sometimes they feel like not really confident when they know we want to take a video of them. So maybe you have experience on that to the communities, especially in the grassroots level. And then
Yes.
what we have to do if we want to get the natural movie of the communities, but we have the situation like that. Okay, thank you, ladies and TJ.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Anna. Yeah. TJ, maybe you could answer that question since you're very
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Anna. No, thank you for that question. But I guess to answer that, that's where your character comes in. I think that's very that's where your being a development being in the development sector comes in. So I think it's being about more friendly and being more natural. So how do I do that? If you ask me, how EJ, how do you do that? Basically, if I just want some very candid expression, I just let the person, like the people in the streets, hey sir, you can just wave your hands in the camera, and then it's not, it won't harm them if they just like smile and then wave your hands, right? So basically, yeah, that's you don't have to be conscious, or if you maybe um it won't harm them if they did a certain part of a video, for example, just smiling. Maybe sir, you can just smile a little bit and then say hi to the camera, and that's a more easy thing to do than to let them ask, or to ask them to do a very complicated scene. So yeah, that's basically what I can share to you.
Yeah, this also implies to what we were talking about, the team, right? So there are a lot of approaches that we can do, as TJ was saying, just be friendly, maybe some people are also friendly and will cooperate with you. Sometimes it also helps when you are, you just went to the community, like you just arrive in a community and you start filming, and obviously like people would be like wary, right? Like, who is this person? Like, I don't want to be in camera, things like that. And that's normal, that's very normal. Just show them that you are not someone who will bite them. Just just do your shooting, um just continue your shooting. You don't need to get the footage, like, you don't need to get all of your footage perfect. So just keep on shooting, and eventually the people will be said, yeah, she's just shooting something, that's okay. They won't mind much. So time element also will help. But don't be conscious, like because eventually people will also be just get used to you being there. And also, if you have, like, let's say for me and TJ, usually in the field I am directing, and TJ is the one who is doing the videography. So director really does not say, oh, do this, do that. Not really. It's more like talking to people, engaging with them, especially when we are shooting in the grassroots. Like, we need someone to talk with them so that we will know what they will do, right? So if it's the camera person who will do that, then there are just a lot of logistics that you need to think about. And the camera person needs to angle in this, but then he needs to talk with the people. So I suggest there will really be two personnel, someone who will just engage, oh, can you show us how this is done? And then the camera person will just like do the job of taking the videos, or maybe a photographer taking the photos, so that the process won't be disrupted. So that's one of the things also we can do. I think there's someone who Miss Lani is raising her hand, and also there's a question in the chat box. Maybe Miss Lani, you can
Yes,
and
I think because this is a contest among farmers organization, I think the community or the farmers organization which you have selected not to document will know. No, of course they beforehand, before you go there, they already know your intention, and of course you will not be going there with like the big camera, so it will not get much attention. So you are freer to have more natural shots. You don't need to to be announcing, because if you already coordinated with the farmers organization, then they know, then they already give the consent. So for those setting the scene, I think it's okay. But of course, for the interview, you can be more proactive, no? But I think because this is a farmers organization who are member of your network, so it will be easier, no? Because they will know that what you will be doing and that you will be documenting. So perhaps it will help, no?
All right. So there is this question in the chat, which I think everyone would also be interested to know. So can we edit by CapCut website in the phone or in the computer? So this is actually, you can do it in computer and also in your phone. But obviously we suggest it in your computer because then you can really see it in a big screen. You can see if it's focused, you know, if the videos are focused or not, because if it's in the phone, then it will be like very tiny, you know, very tiny, and having also, let's say, a mouse would help you navigate where do you want to cut and so on. So that's those two are also very okay in. Any other questions? So really, you can see, you know, that it's editing is exciting, but ultimately you cannot. So this is a tip. Ultimately, you cannot how to say, heal all of the footages in editing. So for example, if you say, oh, I think it's okay, like, you know, you can just heal it in editing. Maybe we can just yeah, in post-production, maybe we can just have this very shaky interview, and then in post-production we can just heal this. Please, the best thing, even for us professionals, is that we really need to get the best shot as much as possible, so that in editing we don't spend a lot of time on it, and sometimes we can't even do anything about it in post-production. So we really need to plan the shots that we need to do. So as you can see, the pre-prod, prod, post-production are very important processes. So Jing said that it is not compatible in iPad. Do you have another options? Yeah, you can have it in your web. Yeah. I also tried it in my, I think there is a app. There is an app up with this one for Mac. So you can do that. Any other questions? All right, Mel is raising.
Hello, this is
Hello.
Mel from Pakisama. Actually, I just want to ask about the copyright issue since we are using some accompanying photos and video. So it's really a precaution to all of us since, you know, during this
Yes.
time. So I want to ask, what are your practical tips in terms of using some accompanying photos or videos that you found online? Then, can you suggest also some website that we can use to source some background music and photos, video, and so on? So maybe you can share or further elaborate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mel. Really, for the photos or footages, it would really be best if it comes from our native organizations. That's what I can really say. Especially with, you know, some issues now, especially if it's a big issue, or, you know, like a hot issue in, let's say, in a country. So having native videos, photos would be best. But if we want to use other footages, then maybe asking some permission to, let's say, the photographer, or, you know, the organization would also be helpful. That we can do that as well. But we cannot just easily grab some photos or videos online. So asking permission would go a long way as well for this one. What else? For audio, if you try CapCut, actually they have already some audio music for you. I think this is copyright free, so it's really good. If you have some for photos, you can also go to pexels.com. These are free websites, and then Unsplash. These are some of the free websites that you can go as well. So yeah, that's it. For the crediting of copyrights which are native to CapCut, let's just say, I don't think you need to do that. But you can. Just like having the copyright, crediting is always safest way for all of us to do. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, Mel.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that answer. Of course, it helps us since we are into, of course, documenting the best practices of our family farmers. And I would like to take this opportunity also to ask on the budget requirement, since we talked the pre-pro, the actual production, the editing process. But of course, as an organization, we need to prepare on the budget. We can't go on with these steps without the resources, right? So maybe you can give us a rough estimate on what are the bare minimum, what are the maximum budget requirement that you need to prepare. Because as an organization, we need also to invest on this, right? So maybe you can share based on your experience as an established consulting firm, editing consulting firm, right? Thank you.
Yeah, so for budgeting, doing this, I think if someone from your organization will be taking the photos, videos, so I think the only thing that you need to consider is the logistics, right? So wherever that place may be, if it needs to have like a plane, you need to travel by plane, or however it could be. So logistics is one thing that you have to consider. And then of course food accommodations of that personnel. And then yeah, I think that's most likely that's it, because the software is free, and if you opted for free resources, then you don't need to pay for that. But in terms of hiring someone, let's just say hiring someone to do the videos, then you need to compensate the daily rate of that organization that you will be collaborating, just in case you want to collaborate with a videographer, things like that. So I cannot say really how much, but in terms of the budgeting, so logistics, accommodations, food, and then the daily rate, if it's outside of the organization, is what you're looking for in terms of budgeting the work done. Yeah. In terms of like post-production, let's just say for music and other footages, if you really want to purchase those, then you can also have that. Like for example, we were subscribing in a website where we can download footage, like stock footages, and we can also download some music that cost us maybe I'll chat the name of the website, but it cost us around it's like 15,000 a year. That's in pesos, so maybe around 300 USD a year. But we can already have all the stock footages and also copyrighted music that we can use. So that's in terms of stock footage and music. So right. Any other questions? Sorry, I think we we go around the time. But just last points, maybe last checklist that we need to think about in terms of this this project, you know. So because ultimate, I hope you can see my screen. Can anyone just thumbs up?
No.
No? Okay, I'll do it again. Sorry. What about now?
Yes.
Okay, right. So ultimately, our goal for this video is not just to do the contest, right? But we want to represent our organizations, our farmers to the COP28. So that's the most exciting part of this. So hopefully, these are some of the checklists that we can give you very quickly. Number one, please do your pre-production well, write your story cohesively. This is the backbone of your videos that you will be creating and presenting. Number two is that plan your shoot and shoot as much as you can. So maybe you were thinking like, okay, I want to shoot this type of scene, but then you just have 3 shots that are like, let's say 2 minutes long or 5 minutes long, like each shot. If it's a scene, then it's not ideal. You need to have different angles, different shots. So be more dynamic in terms of shooting, have some close up, wide, medium shots. So just shoot as much as possible. Then for safety, in terms of safety in like your video, not really the other safety of shooting is also another thing that we can discuss. But for safety, just get a great interview shoot. That's actually what we really want to do if you are doing the interview. And we encourage you to have the interview shoot since this is very ideal for us to really represent, you know, our partner organizations and also to represent the farmers that we are working. So just have the great interview shoot. Please make it steady as much as possible. Use a tripod if you can to have that, and also use the audio. Get audio as well, a separate audio. And then, as I said, record your audio right. And then for editing tips, the simpler the better is actually. So you don't need to have like very, very sophisticated, you know, title cards or very sophisticated transitions. Having it simple as possible is better as long as the story is solid. So that's what I can tell you as a pro tip as well. And then please export your video to the highest quality. So as TJ was giving you as an example, 1080p, 1080 pixels or higher, let's say 4K resolution or higher, 2K, that's also very good. And then this one is our request. So please export finished video and video with no music and subtitles. So finished video is the one you will be submitting for the contest, right? But later on, we might request you to export a video without music and without subtitles. This is because we will compile all of your videos for the COP28 presentation. So we need to have a more uniform music and more uniform subtitles in that one. And then lastly, please do not delete the files that you have shot. So compile it, compile all the footage, the videos, the photos that you have shot for this competition, and then maybe upload it later before maybe after you submit, maybe just compile it and upload it in your Google Drive, and we transfer so that we can have maybe more dynamics when we edit more of this for the COP 2028 video. So hopefully that you can remember this. For sure, we will send this to you later on. But if you still have some questions, you can definitely connect with us. This is my email. You can screenshot it, and yeah, you can give us a shout out. As I said, we will be mentoring this. Possibly when you are shooting, you want to chat with us, like, Gladys, is this a good angle? Like, go. As long as I have some maybe a signal to reply, then I will reply to you for sure. This is me, and yeah, our company is called Development Innovation Insider. You can also check that out. So thank you so much. I think that's it for me.
Thank you. Hello, yeah. Thank you, Gladys and TJ. And we want to express our sincere appreciation to Gladys and TJ of the Insider Productions for the training session that you just conducted for our partner farmers organizations and cooperatives. And the content was comprehensive, engaging, and highly informative. And you provided a clear and structured learning experience. And the way you broke down complex concepts into understandable parts made it accessible for everyone, regardless of their prior knowledge. And in addition, your willingness to patiently give answer to our questions and address our concerns during the Q&A sessions showed your commitment to our learning and success. Thank you again, Gladys and TJ, on behalf of all of us here. You have empowered us with the skills and knowledge needed to make real changes in our communities, and we are excited to put our skills into use. And of course, thank you so much to DGRV for supporting this activity. Thank you also to all our participants. We hope you learned many things from this training. We will share to you the presentation and the videos and the recording later on, so you can rewatch it and also share it with your colleagues. And just a reminder to our participants, for this contest, please use actual videos instead of animation, because we will summarize all your entries and we want to make sure that all of you will submit the same format. I will also send an email regarding this one. And the deadline for our contest initially is on October 15th, but we moved it to October 30. So you have more time to produce your videos. October 30 is the deadliest deadline. And we'd appreciate it, of course, if you can send your entries earlier, so we can already give it also to our friends at the Insider Production. And we will get in touch with all the NIAs to follow up regarding this. We are hoping to receive at least one video entry from each NIA or from each country. So yes, please take note, October 30 is the deadliest deadline. And we look forward to watching your videos and helping you amplify your voices during the COP28 through your videos. Again, thank you for your active participation. And now to close our event, may I call Ms. Lani Rebagay of the Asian Farmers Association.
Yes, may I share screen just to
yes,
just to focus on what the messages we hope to gather, no? So first of all, thank you very much for patiently learning, no, the ropes of how to produce a better video. And as Gladys said, no, why do we need to produce better video? Because we cannot bring all the farmers in COP28. With the videos, we are able to bring the voices of the farmers to the policymaker. This is the one way to bring their voices there. We want to deliver clear and strong message, no, that will touch or move the policymaker to do favorable policies and action. Of course, we cannot learn everything perfectly, no. For some tasks related to this video production, you may seek some professional support, for example, in editing, no, but not in all aspect of it. I think as farmers organization, we will be well placed to do the production, taking the videos, identifying the location, the good practices, no. But perhaps if you are not confident in editing, you can use the project fund under component 2 on policy for some support in editing, no, if needed. Otherwise, you can experiment. I think it will be very good to use CapCut. I'm also very excited to practice it, no. But if you are limited by time, we encourage you to also seek some professional support. You may use the project fund for that. Okay. What are the key messages we expect from all the videos that we will be receiving, no? There are 4 key messages, and we hope that we will all help to deliver these 4 messages. The last 4 is a demand, no? First is climate change affects small-scale farmers. That is one message, that climate change is really affecting all small-scale farmers. May it be through drought, floods, melting glaciers, new pests because of warmer weather, etc. Make it very clear that climate change is affecting small-scale farmers. Second, that small-scale farmers are making solutions at farm level. Across different crops, you may feature how climate adaptation in coconut, in coffee, in rice. So across other crops or livestock, in raising chicken, in dairy, in fisheries, in forestry. So in different kinds of agriculture, no? And in different stages, in production technology, use of organic fertilizer, diversification of crops, integrating livestock, use of energy efficient tools, solar pump, water saving technology, indigenous citrus is more resistant to droughts, etc. And processing, reduction of use of plastic, indigenous cooling, food preservation, and in marketing, making shorter value chain, less food miles, school feeding program, etc. So there are many things that small farmers are doing. But the third most important message is individual farmers cannot do it alone. Solutions are sustainable and effective if it is done collectively through agricultural cooperatives or farmers organization. It's good to point out cooperatives, no, because this is more attuned to the marketing purposes, no. But in some countries where there is no legal framework for cooperative, then association, unions, etc. So any form of collective action, of federated structure. So, and the last, because of this, we would like to seek for favorable policies and programs that supports cooperatives and association so that we can ensure healthy and sufficient food amidst climate challenge. So these are the messages that we would like to seek support from each one to deliver this message through the videos that we will be documenting, no? So we really seek everyone's support. So let's get our act together, document well, and let's bring the voices of our family farmers in COP28. So thank you very much. And thank you for our partner, the Insider. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you, Lani, Bunny, and everyone. Goodbye.